Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today on PoliWine, where we'd like to take a deep dive into stories pulled from the media and have a fun time while breaking it down. I'm Jillian, and let's get into it. Now, first of all, I would like to say Happy Veterans Day to all of those who have served to protect and defend our country. So, a shout out to you. Thank you so much for your bravery and your dedication to our country. So happy Veterans Day to all of those. And moving on to the election. Last time we were together, it was election day and we were preparing for it. The votes have been casted and counted, and by a huge landslide, Trump won. Now, I've talked in the past who I wanted to support for my candidate, and she did not win. And that's okay. It took me a little time to process. I was definitely in my feelings for a bit, but that's how it goes. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Trump won. The people spoke clearly and very loudly, and they wanted something different, and you're going to get Trump again. So there we are. I think everybody was kind of preparing themselves for a struggle, for a battle, for a big, long fight, to contest the win, and it didn't. Thank God. It's over. We did it. We made it. We finished the finish line, and here we are. Trump won. So the plans are being made. The ball is rolling. He's choosing his new crew now. He's already released several names that's going to be in his new cabinet, and here we go. Here we go. 47th has been named. So I don't know how you're feeling right now. Some people are still kind of going through it, but here we are. And it was a shocking margin, I would say. Even Trump seemed shocked in his victory speech. Like, he just seemed like, wow, can you believe we did that? And he's right. It was a historic moment. It was. I mean, wow, to come back from that and win again. And like I said, the people have spoken loudly. Their voices were heard, and here we go. Here we go. It's let the circus begin. And speaking of circus, let's move down to South Carolina. Now, South Carolina, several days ago, in a small town outside Charleston, had these 43 monkeys escape from this research center, and they were living it up. Now, at this point, 24 have been captured, but the other are living it up, enjoy the last warm fall days of the southern weather, and having a party. Charleston's a great party town. So what are you doing down there, monkeys? So I just think it's so funny. You've got these monkeys on the loose in South Carolina. Now, anybody's ever been in the party scene in Charleston, there's some clowns down there, that's for sure. So the monkeys should fit right in. Charleston is a beautiful place. It's a great place, fun place, great food, great scene. Definitely some characters down there. So the monkeys should blend in well. I'm not surprised they haven't found them yet, but I just think it's so funny that these monkeys are on the loose and nobody can find them. So they found some, but the other ones slipped out. I think it's so funny. Now let's move on to sports a little bit. I have to say, I'm not a huge American football fan. I watch it now and again. I want to see some highlights. I'm great with highlights, but to sit down and watch a whole game, that's a little bit tough for me. It's hard for me to watch any sport for a long period of time just to sit. But there's just a lot going on, and I just can't handle watching the guys hit each other at that hard. But anyway, I do really like and have enjoyed watching some of the games in Germany. And I love the fact that they sing country roads all the time. Like I've said, and I'm a West Virginia girl. I'm born and raised, and I've spoke about it when I had my interview a few weeks ago with Nate Stark, who is one of the producers of the real Hatfields and McCoys, Forever Feuding. West Virginia is in my blood. So I love the fact that they always sing country roads. I think it's great. I think it's awesome. And they love some John Denver over there. I'm telling you, the Germans, the French, the Scandinavians, they love John Denver and Country Roads, what my experience with them. And I think it's great. I love seeing it. And they are so excited about the game. I the stadium was packed. So the turnout is there and they are loving it over there. So it's exciting. It's new. I've enjoyed watching it. I hope you've enjoyed watching it. It's been a lot of fun. But speaking of, I mean, that's a really nice field. I'm guessing that's a football, like a soccer field that they're using for, I'm guessing. I don't know. I wouldn't think that they built a stadium for that, but it's a really nice stadium. But speaking of football, I'm going to switch it to like soccer football. But did you hear that really bizarre freak accident story? I think I was talking a little bit last week about that 39-year-old soccer player in Peru. There was a storm coming. This team was walking off the field. And when they were leaving the field, a player was struck by lightning and killed instantly right on the field. And just awful. And in front of everyone on live TV and in front of the spectators and just absolutely awful. So it just bizarre freak accident. So sad. Loved player. And just, oh my gosh, just, when you read about these stories, just, oh, it's terrible. But in front of everybody, just, but at least I guess doing what you love. But it's just such a bizarre story and so sad. And I watch a lot of international news, and that's how I heard about this story. And I have to tell you, after being around American news for my entire life, I guess I don't realize how much editing goes on. So when you watch a lot of the international news, they don't edit as much. And so, I mean, they leave sometimes very little to the imagination. Like you see everything, and they didn't leave out any details there. And it was really jarring. So I cannot imagine the people in the stands watching it and seeing it happen right there. It just had to be very traumatic, very traumatic. And for the players, I mean, players around him were blown off, like feet away, were just blown down to the ground. It was just, I cannot imagine the power of this lightning bolt. But I mean, just bizarre and terrible. So our hearts and thoughts go to the family, the teams, the people in Peru. Just sad, tragic accident. Just bizarre. But the world of sports, a lot of things happening these days. Bizarre stories. We talked about that Italian surfer in Indonesia the other day. We got this guy. I'm just bizarre stories happening in the world of sports. So let's move on to some happier stuff. Let's get into the world of entertainment, a little bit of pop culture, all that jazz. Now, I was telling you the other week about a show on HBO Max called It's Florida Man. If you have not had a chance to see it, I highly recommend it. It's a half-hour show. It goes super quick, but it is true stories taken out of the news in Florida, and then you have a person that was involved in the real story narrating the story, but you have actors reenacting the story, and it is so good. And the actors reenacting the story are fantastic. The people who are narrating the story that were really involved in this story, I mean, you cannot make these people up. There is a reason they are Floridians. The one in the last week story about the guy who breaks into a man's house and tries to blow it up in a bull suit was like, I guess I'm a real Floridian. Yes, you are. I cannot imagine what the cops do when they show up the scene. But what's really funny is they actually take an excerpt from the real news story that aired in Florida, and the real journalist and anchorman when they're telling the story, and women when they're telling the story. It is so funny. And that's the real thing. It doesn't seem real. It is real, and it is hilarious. But this week's story about the guy who tries to blow up this man's trailer in, oh my God, in a bull costume, and he does it with marinara on the stove. It was so great. Such a quintessential Florida story. And you have to watch it. Like I said, it's a quick episode. I tend to watch it in the wee hours in the morning just for a great laugh, and it is well worth it because you're just scratching your head the whole time. You're like, what is happening and where is this going to go? And again, can't make this stuff up, can't think of this stuff up. And Jesus, just weird stuff happened there. So, Florida, this one goes to you. It's Florida Man. God, what a great show. Funny, funny, funny. Now, another show on HBO is The Penguin. And I've only seen a few episodes. I've been in and out, but I really need to dedicate a little bit of time because I'm not really huge into like kind of like this Batman kind of shows. I mean, I grew up with this stuff. I liked it. I like a cartoon now and again. But this is really dark and I kind of like it. And Colin Farrell, oh my God, like he's really into, I mean, he's a great actor and he really has just really dove into this role. He's just unrecognizable. He's got the gait that the penguin has when he walks. He has just this raspy voice. He's really dark. He's great. He's absolutely great. And the girl who plays the female character, was her Sarah? Is it in the movie? What is her name? Kristen Milotti? I'm sorry if I'm this off the top of my head. She is really good. I don't know a lot of her work. I don't know any of her work actually, but whatever she's been in before, I apologize I missed, but she is really good in the show. She is really good at just being twisted and just very edgy. I mean, if you need a good villain or unstable character or somebody just to kind of go in that place, she's it. So hands off to her. She's really good. But anyway, that's a great show. I will go back and watch that. It's good. So and it's been getting great reviews. So if you have a chance to watch that and you like the Batman series, this is a good one. It's a different kind of twist. It's very good. I like it. Highly recommend that one. Now, let's get over to some stuff that's been going on Netflix. Netflix just released season 2 of The Diplomat with Kerry Russell. That's good. I liked it. I haven't finished watching it. I got into a little bit of it. I like the banter that the characters have with each other. It's very quick. It's kind of witty. That's nice. And of course, you've got politics. It's a little bit of high stress. Some of it's a little unbelievable. I think some of it's probably very true. Even the ridiculous part of it, I'm sure, is pretty accurate. But like I said, I really like the banter of the characters. They work well off each other. It's decent. It's decent. I give it a thumb and a half ups. I don't know, 2 thumbs up, but it's good. It's good. Now there is a show that, this is actually going to come on another one, but there is something else that is coming on Netflix and it's big. They've really been promoting it. It's this weekend, November the 15th. It is the live fight with Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. It was postponed once. Mike Tyson had a little bit of a medical issue, so it was pushed back a bit, but I think it was supposed to be June, right? It was originally supposed to be in June. It was pushed back. He had a little bit of a medical issue. He's been cleared and it's happening this Friday. Should be interesting. I'm sure it's going to get record numbers. And I have to tell you, like, I've seen Mike Tyson fight for years. That guy, and I was telling my son about it the other day, like, he is a fighter. Like, he has been fighting, like, Mike Tyson grew up in the streets. And that man was a street fighter at a young age. Like that man, like when you see him get in the ring, like there is something like that switch that flips in him and it's just fight mode. Like there is nothing else, is warrior mode for sure. And we've seen it before when he just goes in attack mode. We saw it with Holyfield when he just something snaps and he's just victory all. And that's what an athlete is. Like they get in that mindset, mind over matter. I do what I do. Now, Jake Paul, although he is young, I did watch the documentary he had a while. I think it was probably on Netflix too. It was a while back, maybe a year or two ago. And it was talking about how he moved to Puerto Rico and he was training and how he was becoming a boxer and a fighter. And Mike Tyson was actually, they were interviewing him and he was like, this man is legit. You can say what you want to. He came from the world of YouTube and social media and stuff like that. But like, he's earned his credit. Like he's bringing attention back to the sport, and he has. He brought a lot of attention back to boxing. You see the man training; he's dedicated. I've seen some of the fights. He's impressive. So, with that being said, with all the training that he's doing, and the fights that he has under his belt now. I'm talking about Jake Paul. Like he's legit. He's legit, and even though he's younger and Mike Tyson's older. I don't know. Will age win out? I don't know. Will age win with experience? Will youth win? I don't know. But it's definitely, I'm sure, going to get huge numbers for Netflix. And it should be good. I'm going to be watching what I can. I have a hard time watching that stuff. I don't like people beating up other people. It's hard for me. I definitely can't watch MMA. That is way too hard. But it's going to be good. Let's see how long it goes, how many rounds it happens. Mike is not young, so I am really wanting to see what his performance is going to be like. I mean, like I said, that man is a fighter. No matter how young or old, it is in his DNA. So who will win, youth or experience? It's going to be a good one. I'll be watching, and I'll be talking about it. So this weekend, Jake Paul, Tyson fight. Let's do it. Also, let's see, we have that, and moving over to, there is a really, good, I think it's going to be good. It hasn't come out yet. It's going to come out on the 14th this week, November the 14th, and it is called The Jackal. Eddie Redmayne is playing the main character, and it is based off the film, I think it was originally in the 70s. I kept thinking, is this also based off the one with the movie that, was it Bruce Willis? Was he in years ago? That was a good movie too. Now, I don't know if that's the same one, but I was reading that the one with Eddie Redmayne that's coming off on Peacock was based on that book. Again, don't know if it's the same one with Bruce Willis, but it's still a good Jackal as well. And it looks really good. Espionage. So that should be really exciting. I'm interested in it. I really am. So The Jackal, Peacock. Let's see where it goes. All right. Now, let's move over to some movies. All right. We have Moana 2. That is coming out on November the 22nd. And I know in our home that is a movie very anticipated for that release. And little one is excited, and we will be watching it. So November 27th, Moana 2. I'm sure that's going to be a really big turnout for that movie. The first one was just absolutely fantastic. And the fact that they were able to get most of the cast back, the music's going to be spot on. Will Miranda is just phenomenal. You've got The Rock back. You've got the original voice of Moana. You've got Nicole Scherzinger. She's in it. It's going to be really good. Highly anticipated. It's Disney. It's going to be great. I'm excited for it. And you also have the big weekend of the 22nd. That's the big weekend of movies that I've heard that it's going to be released. So you've got Gladiator 2 coming out. Denzel Washington's going to be out there. There's a lot of younger, new name actors in that. It looks very exciting. A lot of action. That's a tough one to follow. With the original one with Russell Crowe back in 2000. When that one came out back in the day, I mean, it was revolutionary. I think, was it one of the first kind of like IMAX movies? I want to say it was one of the first big ones. I remember going to the theater, seeing it, and it was a big deal. It was a big deal. It was kind of a new way to film it. The music scenes, very artsy. Russell Crowe was just unbelievable in that movie. And it just was, I mean, it's a cult classic. So that's a really tough one to follow. So Gladiator 2 does look really good. high intensity. Let's give it a chance. So, November 22nd. Also, same day, Wicked is being released. Wicked, the Broadway play that's being turned into a movie that's based off of The Wizard of Oz. It looks really, really good. You have Ariana Grande, some of the other, I'm sorry, I'm just drawing a blank on some of the other names, but it looks really creative, very well done. I'm sure the music's just fantastic in it. We'll see how it goes. We shall see how it goes. It looks like a pretty movie. They are promoting this movie Wicked everywhere. You turn on the TV, you see the Target commercial. You see that. I mean, it's everywhere. Every time you have the computer, there's an ad. I mean, the marketing for this movie Wicked is insane. So they better get a big return on it because they are pushing it in your face everywhere. And it looks really cute. Little girls are going to love it. You have the pink and the green. It's very glitzy and glamoury and princessy. So I'm sure it's going to do phenomenal. But here's an interesting, like I said, they are promoting it everywhere. You've got the toys, you've got the clothes, you've got the home goods, you've got, you name it. Everything's got Wicked on it. Now, Mattel, I believe it is Mattel. I think that is the company that had this little snafu with the dolls. So there are these dolls that are being released for the Wicked movie. And it's like Glinda, I think it's Glinda and stuff like that. I don't know the names of the characters. I'm just going off from the Wizard of Oz. But there are these dolls that have that were made for the movie. And on the back of the box, it says, to go to this URL to see, to see this Wicked stuff and all the other promotions and to see all the other merchandise and stuff like that. So, however, the URL was supposed to be Wicked movie. But on the back of the box, it just says Wicked, which is the URL for a porn site. So here you go on your little girl's toys or your little child's toys, or anybody who wants to play with the dolls. Anybody can play with the dolls. They're gorgeous. Yes, it doesn't send you to the Wicked movie webpage. If you go to that particular website that is printed on the back of the box, you will go to a porn site. So you get a little bit more than you wanted to than just your typical Barbie doll merchandise. But yeah, oopsie, Mattel, that's a boo-boo. And just think how many millions of boxes that have been printed, right? You can't recall that now. That's yikes. So just think of all the money that they want to make. Are they going to have to how much are they going to have to spend to fix that situation? So oopsie, that's a pretty big snafu. So don't go to just the Wicked website. Go to Wicked movie website. If you want to see anything about that merchandise. The other one, you're going to get a little bit more. And I cannot imagine how much more traction and how many more views that website is getting right now because of this snafu. I'm sure it's huge. Everybody's like, so Wicked, the movie is coming out November 22nd. That's going to be the big weekend. The 22nd, you've got Gladiator 2, Wicked, and Moana the following weekend. So it is the holiday seasons in the movies are out and getting ready to kick off. So as we are preparing to sit down for Thanksgiving dinner, we're going to have all the sports ready. We're going to have the movies ready. We're going to have the Disney movies ready and food. So let's get ready. Let's get into the season. It is here. Now, it is that time to get into the world of Bravo. Yes, yes, yes. We've gone through Netflix. We've gone through Peacock. We've gone to movies. Now, it's Bravo time. We had the OC reunion. What did you think? Did you like it? Were you interested? Did you feel a little icky about it? Well, I have to tell you, I was frazzled. I was bored, but I was frazzled. Tamara still cannot own her shit. She cannot own how vile she was. She can't say, I'm sorry without a but or with somehow nulling and void the actual apology. Seems pretty pretty in line for Tamra. She, even Andy was like, she understands. She's here to make amends. She realized and has stated, Shannon, that Tamra has gone too hard for you this summer, and she recognizes now. She has gotten so much backlash that I think Tamra was like, God, if I don't apologize now, I'm going to get kicked off again. Right? And is she? I think she should. I've said it many times. I think she should. I don't think she should have asked back. I think Vicky should have come back, but I think she just seemed vile, awful this year. And she was just a despicable person. I don't know why Heather was paired up with her so tightly. I think that was a bad move on Heather's choice, but everybody else parted with her. And they all saw how bad she was. And when I think Tamra started seeing that she was on an island to herself, I mean, Heather was kind of holding on to that island a little bit just because she was pissed off at some of the other people. But, I kind of hope that Tamra is voted off that little island that she has left for herself. She just looked awful. Shannon, everybody was going still after Shannon. Gina, why were you so angry? Why were you so angry this episode? You were really, really, really going hard for everyone. You were going after Katie. You were going after Shannon. You were going after everyone. You were just really pissed off. And I don't know why you're so pissed off, right? You said you were happy, life is better, not working as much. So you're going to get it out. Shane's in the gym once a week now. Why are you so angry? Gina, you seemed much more pleasant. And then you started doubling down on the Katie thing. You came to me for real estate, but you weren't moving and you wanted me. I don't understand that. I don't care about that. I think that was pointless. I think it's kind of becoming pretty clear that you and Katie definitely had talked about this whole paparazzi thing beforehand. Boring then, boring now. Katie, just say, it was stupid. I'm sorry. I thought I had something. I didn't. There we go. Just say that. Just own that. That's fine. There's that. Katie, I kind of felt really bad for you. You did own it. Say, I'm done. First of all, I want to apologize. You apologize. Fine. Yes, you look like an ass in certain scenes. Your husband was adorable, and I love that he was ride or die for you. I really did not like the fact that they were going in that mostly Heather, but Emily was joining in with all of her legal background and a little bit of Gina, how they were going on in her past with her ex. And this whole legal case, it bothered me. You were not there, Heather. You were just reading reports. Things can be misinterpreted. It's their word against another person's word in a report. I didn't like that. You went in really hard for her. You could see that she was very upset. I mean, she was distraught at the end. I mean, having to explain that, she was in a fight with her ex. She was homeless. She didn't even know she had a court date. And so she didn't show up, and the husband was automatically granted custody. I mean, it sounds awful. You weren't there. They weren't there. I wasn't there. Who are you to judge? But it sounds awful. And you are a mother, and and they were going in for poor Jen. And again, I really like Jen and Katie together. I think they're sweet. I hope they stay friends. Jen's whole issue with Ryan, they were really doing a lot of talking about the legal stuff, and she was talking about a little bit too much detailed information, and the court case hasn't happened yet. I know it's in the works. Thank goodness that even Shannon jumped in and was like, should we be talking about this right now? Because this is an active legal case, and I feel like we're divulging a little bit too much information, and this could get somebody in trouble. I agree with Shannon on that one. I was like, whoa, this is a lot of information that's kind of being discussed, and anything you say can and will be used against you. And Jen's like, I don't know what's going on, and this is what he was telling me. You're not married yet. I don't think you have spousal privileges. I don't know, but it just seemed like there was a little bit too much talking there. This was a really boring reunion. I hope they wrap it up in just two. I don't think they need to stretch it out anything beyond that. But I don't know. And OC, do you have enough to continue? Your numbers aren't great right now. There's not a lot going on. Let's see if you make it. Are they going to have another reboot with OC and get new casts? We'll see. And speaking of trying things to, spice it up and reboot it and not working, Dubai. Well, the Real Housewives of Dubai, they got put on pause. They were canceled. They were canceled for now. 2 seasons, and it just didn't make it. Now, I think Miami that was 2 seasons, right? And then that was put on pause for about 8 years. And they came back, and they came back hard and strong. Almost all the entire same cast. There was Leah Black wasn't there, and I forget the other woman's name, the cook, right? She wasn't there. She came back in the other season, was trying to stir up some stuff this past season, but so 2 seasons, and they came back 8 seasons later. Miami brought it. I don't know about Dubai. They just didn't, the story wasn't there. The characters weren't strong enough. I like Carolyn Stanberry. I hope that there's something else in the Bravo world they can find for her, because I think she's good. Maybe even she could be a host of something. I like her. She's funny. She's witty. She's dry. She's, I don't know. I like her. But good thing Sergio's got his little hotel thing in Bali going, because he's going to need that now, because you're not working on the show. So there's that. Bye-bye, Dubai. Didn't happen. I mean, look what happened. It's another one lost. We've lost Dallas. We've lost some of the Southern Charm spinoffs. Now this one. Who else did we lose? DC. Yeah. There's another one, right? Wasn't there another one? But Salt Lake City's still coming back. So Salt Lake City, let's get into Salt Lake City. Salt Lake City, they went to Palm Springs on a trip with Bronwyn. Very fancy trip. Heather was not invited. She didn't make it past last week's, that whole interview, if you will, with Bronwyn. They got into a fight. She left. And I think you may have lucked out on this one. So they go to Palm Springs. They're all there. Husbands come. All's going well. They seem to be enjoying the house. It was stunning. It was amazing house. Gorgeous. Huge. Bronwyn's husband's there. The Kramunchkin, as I call him, with the cute sweaters. He always kind of has like a little cutesy sweater on. He was there, and you definitely see the Kramunchkin-y side come out in him. They all seem to be having fun. I always enjoy watching the men, the guys, the husbands on the trips, because they're always together. They try and just enjoy themselves. They enjoy the getaway. And they just let the girls do their thing and get into it and all that stuff. But it is funny seeing the guys together. They're just like tossing in the cornhole and enjoying the games, always having the drinks. It's not too often the guys get into it. And I like that. I like them just having a good time, having their bro time. So the girls are enjoying it, and I'm going to cut into it. So they were around the pool having a nice time. They've done spas, they've done this, they've done that, and they're hanging around the pool. And I forget exactly what they're discussing, but Bronwyn gets up, right, to go to the restroom. And they're all talking about, oh, wouldn't it be nice if Heather were here, if Heather were here, if Heather were here. I think it's really a misunderstanding between Bronwyn and Heather, but she is missed. So Lisa picks up the phone and FaceTimes Heather, right? Right in the middle of the trip. Like, oh, it's so beautiful here, but we miss you. And even Whitney, you can say what you want about Whitney. Even Whitney's like, there's no way I'm going to pick up the phone and call her on this trip. No way. Not with Miss Bronwyn. I don't think so. And poor Bronwyn didn't have Mary. So there's always that for Bronwyn, already down one backup. So Bronwyn comes out of the bathroom, and they're FaceTiming Heather. And Meredith didn't do it, but just stirring a little bit, just slowly stirring the pot. And Bronwyn's like, why did you do that? You're on my trip. Why she's not invited. And you can have your feelings about our situation, but I find it pretty disrespectful that you're on my trip that I'm paying for, and you're calling the girl that I'm having a beef with saying, hey, wish you were here. right in front of me. And I find that rude. And you're my friend, Lisa. So what the hell? And Lisa's like, look, and that was so stupid of Lisa and very shady, passive aggressive, stirring the pot, all that shit. Yes. Now, but even it was like, I'm really sorry. I think it's just a really misunderstanding between the two of you. And you're my friend and she's my friend. And it's tough being in the middle. And she's trying to explain it. And, and she's like, I'm sorry. I won't get into it anymore. I'm sorry. I feel bad and I'm done. But honestly, I think the two of you need to talk it out and work through it. And that. And Bronwyn gets pissed and she starts talking to Whitney about it in the room. And Bronwyn's husband, Todd, comes up because the girls start fighting and they're fighting for a while, right? They're fighting for a while in the pool. And then you see the husband's like, it's getting a little heated over there, but I'm going to stay out of it. I'm staying out of it. And Justin and John, considering what happened last week at the party, or 2 weeks ago, they wanted to stay out of it because they got into an altercation defending their wives. So like, you know what? You handled this one. This one's on you. Oh, they are. And then Todd's like, enough. We're done. Break it. Girls, in your corners, break it up. So again, Bronwyn and Whitney were talking about it. And Todd's like, look, you need to squash this or I'm leaving. I'm done. I already told you I'm not going to put up with this crap. I'm not taking time out of my busy schedule to listen to this fight. And I've only been here 3 hours and I've had a full weekend fill of it. So enough. You end it or I'm going to end it. And she's like, okay, fine. So Todd goes marching right out and goes to John, Lisa's husband, and says, hey, you need to tell your wife to stop her shit. This is our vacation. We brought you guys here as a guest, and you need to either tell her to stop her shit or you guys can leave. And John was just startled by everything. And it was interesting because as Todd is pissed walking through the house, as he's going outside, I think he passes like Angie K in the background. You just see Angie K like freeze, like, oh God, he looks pissed. And you just see her like freeze and go the other way. Okay. So that was funny. And you see him and she had like bird's eye view of what was going down. So you just see her like fade into the distance. And that's when Todd goes up to John's like, tell Lisa to stop her shit. So John gets up and you see John go through the house and John just looks stunned, perplexed, shocked. And you just see like Meredith like coming out of a room and you see like the camera, just see her like fade, like stunned and then like fade to the background. So John goes into the room where Lisa comes out and she's like, well, what's going on? He's like, Todd just came out and talked to me. And she's like, oh yeah, what's up? What do you say? And he was like, well, he's very upset that you and Bronwyn got into it. And if you don't stop it, then we need to go. We need to leave. We need to pack up our stuff and go. And she was like, and that's where the episode left off. So Salt Lake City's bringing it. Definitely no dry spells there. And then if you go over to Potomac, and I tell you, I love my girls of Potomac. No one brings classiness to shadiness like they do, with some pink cherry blossoms in the background, and I love it. So they're back at Lake Norman. They're still celebrating Wendy's 40th. Karen's still in major denial. Still doesn't want to talk about the accident. I wouldn't talk about the accident either. You got your court case coming up. Stay quiet. But man, they are trying to pump her left and right. You've got the new girls. You've got, was it Jazzy? And then you have Jacqueline. Jacqueline, very needy this season. I'm glad you are ride or die for your friend Mia, but it is too clingy. Like, it's a little off. And then when she walked right up to you and sniffed you, Mia, that was too personal, too close. My closest girlfriends, my BFF does not do that to me. No way. She might say you look a mess, but she's not doing that. But I freaking love Mia. She is a mess. She's not always truthful, but when she is truthful, the shit that comes out of her mouth is great. And the things that she does, she is fun. She is funny and she brings the drama. Oh my God. Sometimes she'll just give it a slow drip form. Sometimes it's like a tsunami. It is everything you would want in a hot mess. Mia brings it and stirs it, shakes it up in the shaker and then puts it back down and you can just drink it all night. The way she was like pouring the drinks and then like pouring the bottle and then like taking the bottle in her mouth and all the girls were like, Mia, whoa. And then you've got the new girl Stacey's like, that is a skill set. That is a skill set. Stacey, I really want to like this girl. I think she's, first of all, she's absolutely gorgeous, but she's too cheesy and a little too stiff for me. And they do talk about her stiff. When she was dancing and they were twerking, she's like, I don't twerk. I do what the music tells me to do. And I don't know what that music's telling you to do, but it is, you look like a rusty robot. I don't know what else to say. I don't know what that is, but she's cracking me up at just how she's shocked by everything. And how she's very, I don't know, very puritanical to me. She really is like, she doesn't want to do anything. And this whole relationship with TJ, it's just weird. It's weird. And she was on Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen the other day with, oh my God, who was she on? It was God, who was she on with? God, it was great. I can't believe I'm drawing a blank right now because I enjoyed it so much. But she was on the other day and her boyfriend TJ was behind the bar. I'm just trying to think of who she was on with. It's going to drive me crazy who she was on the show with. It was a really good one. And everything that I have thought about this guy. Yep. When he came on in that shirt that it was mesh and wholly see-through, I'm like, this guy's too much. This guy is so thirsty for attention. I don't even think he's that into her. The way he's like now suddenly with the rules, with the relationship and doesn't want to have sex. Something's fishy. I don't think he's not really that into her. I mean, and she's gorgeous. I don't understand. But there's something off about her. There's something off and it's bothering me very much. I'm liking Ashley this year. I'm liking Wendy. I'm liking Giselle. Giselle coming back after her girls' graduation and stirring the pot going, what happened? What about the Scar situation stirring it up? And Ashley's been entertaining so far. Still good old Ashley. But I got to tell you, I am loving Potomac. I'm loving Salt Lake City. Like I said, Beverly Hills is supposed to be airing here shortly. I'm ready for that. Miami, I hope you bring it. But although OC has not been my favorite, Dubai's done. Let's see about Atlanta. Hit or miss. We're not getting the Ultimate Girls Trip coming back. So we're like in a rocky place, I would say, right now in the Bravo sphere. But I still love my Potomac girls. Salt Lake City. And Bronwyn is like a new fan favorite. I think Heather Gay's going to have a real hard time with that. But let's see what else happens in Bravo. Is Vanderpump Rules going to make it? Because it looks like half of the cast from Vanderpump Rules is going to the Valley. What's going to happen with the Valley? Because it was huge first season. The holidays, I'm hoping they keep pumping them out in the holidays because we need it. After everybody is locked up, shopping, online shopping, in the store shopping, spending time with family, you're going to need something to decompress a little bit of a brainless TV, guilty pleasure, all that stuff. That's what I am here to bring for you. So thank you so much for joining us today. Let's see what action happens in the next few days. So thank you so much for joining us today on PoliWine. Please follow us, PoliWine Time, on the gram, and catch us wherever you get your feed. YouTube, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get it. Thanks so much and have a great day. Bye.